We're here messing around. We got green ladybugs. All right. So we are going to attempt to troubleshoot this. Every time he turns far left and far right, we get a very specific sound. So it starts up fine. Far right. And far left. So just by mere knowledge, if it doesn't do what's at idle or in the straight forward position, it suggests air leaking somewhere. Let's hope it's not leaking from this particular device, as you should see a leak if it was. So we're going to check the high pressure and low pressure O-rings. So we are checking the high pressure line. Checking the high pressure line. OEM O-rings are as follows. We're doing both high pressure and low pressure. Alright, we're gonna want something to catch this. I'm gonna literally pull this off and put it in here. Just a slight jiggle. Whee! Juicy! Juicy indeed. We're gonna sit this up out of the way. And this is what your looks like with stuff off of it. We're going after this OEM ring right here. You're gonna need something sharp to try to pull it off. You're definitely not gonna be able to get it off with your fingers. All right, so we have a difference in O-ring high pressure hose size. It might not be obvious here, but we see it. This one's a little thicker. This one's clearly been used for a long time. We're gonna start by that change. And this you should be able to put on with your fingers. Just a matter of getting leverage around the end.
I feel like stretching it, Mike.
No, you're going to stretch it. It's not gonna roll on. The point is, there you go. The point is to keep it nice and flush. All right, we're gonna put this in and see if we can fire her up. And this is the part for the high pressure O-ring. Voila. We're not gonna start it up. For good measure, we're just gonna change the low pressure line. If the high pressure line was like that, then the low pressure line has seen better days. So we're going to knock that out. No, it's definitely not pressured, so you don't have to worry about it. Not pressure right now, at least. Put your bolts in a safe spot. And yep. So everything's gonna drop. Probably came out. Drop it in. Yeah, drop it. Sir, you
Huh?
Interesting.
There's no thingy.
There is no O-ring. Let's dive into this a little further. So we have an O-ring. It is just lodged. Bloop. Right down the end of my fingernail. We're gonna pull it out. And this is the difference between the old low pressure O-ring and the new low pressure O-ring. This is your car part. But this is clearly been used. So we're gonna change these out. And again, that millimeter of O-ring coverage can be the difference. As we saw, it's only making a noise, or it only seems constrained or strained, or returning it far right and far left. So the O-ring is placed on this male part, and we're gonna slide it on in. Make sure you bolt.
Make sure these nuts are tight.
We'll make sure the bolts are tight, and we're gonna tighten them to a small torque, and we should be good on the O-ring front. We're gonna start up, see what we got. All right, move to the right. Alright, so we've let this run for a good 5 minutes and let these seal a little bit. And as you hear, it is not making the noise any longer. So all it took was O-rings. Very easy fix, as you saw displayed. But I don't know if we're gonna tackle it today. Your power steering fluid should not be orange, and it is bubbling. It is festering. So I think we're gonna leave it right here and diagnose it further on another day. All right, we're gonna do a side-by-side comparison. We have an 05 and an 04, exact same engine, built. And your power steering pump and hose and liquid, this should not be bubbling. All right, the main objective was to get rid of the noise. We've done that. We're gonna go and look at any other leads on what we should be doing. Odds are it's power steering pump. We're not gonna change that today, but we're going to see. Furthermore, we continue to drive it to let the system get acclimated to the new O-rings. As you saw initially when we started it up, it was still squealing and carrying on. We continued to drive it. As you saw, as you heard, we kept pumping the rack left and right, and the noise subsided. Now we're going to see after a 15-minute drive to see if these bubbles went away as well. All right, we still. Definitely not as much as it was, but as you saw it earlier, it was buzzing like a chimp. But let's compare it to a power steering pump. Let's compare it to a pump that has no problems or any type of O-ring problem at all. And this is the TSX on the ones we just changed. They is very small, if at all, man. So it's a night and day difference. We're going to see. We're gonna let this run for a week. It's definitely not what it used to be. All right, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. We're gonna continue to monitor this system. We're gonna flush this fluid out in the next couple of days when it's convenient. You can like, you can subscribe. Any questions or concerns, leave them in the comment section. And stay tuned for a flushing of this particular fluid.